Danny, how did your Bears pull this off?
Magic. I told you. Bunch of haters that I got to deal with.
All of his dumb
believe.
analysis came true. Every single piece of it.
I told you, just believe. I can't. You guys have all watched sports long enough. Sometimes, I know as a golfer, I pray to the golf gods. Like there are weird things that happen. The Packers were dominating that game. Yes. Jordan Love looked great. The Bears' defense looked terrible. Ben Johnson went for it on 4th down inside his own 35-yard line in the second quarter. And we were talking about it, me and my friends, my nephew, people I was at the game with, were saying it was the right call because it was so obvious that the Bears' defense was just going to get gashed all night. And so that they were going to need to figure out a way to win a shootout and turn it into the Niners game that we watched a couple of weeks ago. And then halftime hits after McManus misses the field goal. So it's 21-3. And it had been snowing and it's freezing and the Bears are just getting their teeth kicked in. And we're all sitting there talking and we're like, you just got to get a stop to start the third quarter and then Caleb magic. Like, my whole life as a Bears fan has been based in earned cynicism. And this, we just kind of believed. We kind of just thought, well, if you just make it close and then one thing happens, like this was you can't really explain it, divine intervention, high-fiving strangers type of game. And it was honestly beautiful. Like, I know you guys are going to make fun of me and mock me and all, and that's fine.
We have the outfit
why
yeah.
How could you possibly? How could you? I think I look great. Yeah. I don't care. It's all that matters. But seriously, it was, sports they matter. Like, they just matter. And this rivalry matters. And, like, Ben Johnson doubling down on it today and saying, I don't like them. Like, it's a different, it's not Yankees Red Sox. We are neighbors with Wisconsin. Like, my dad's whole family is from Wisconsin. We work with these people. We're married to these people. It's like, the Packers don't even have an owner. The fans own the team. The Bears are descendants of George Halas. It's just different. And Caleb Williams now has as many wins against the Packers as Mitch Trubisky, Jay Cutler, and Justin Fields combined. Yeah. Like, it's just, it feels different. It feels like the turning of a page, and again, I said it in the walk-in video, I'm not a religious person. It honestly felt like a sports religious experience to be there on Saturday night. And I'm telling you right now, Chicagoans agree with me, that is not overstating it.
Listen, the broadcast talked about how early in the game, the crowd seemed dead. And by late in the game, Herb Street and Michaels were saying that Michaels said it's the loudest he's ever heard that stadium.
A beat writer for 25 years.
He felt it shake. Right.
It was insane by the end.
And your point about just believing, I think for different reasons, less supernatural on Bruisin than I think yours. It seems, Brew, you had the same belief at the end. Like that Caleb is now.
I was saying, Danny, earlier, a feeling that I've really only had with Mahomes over the last few years, I had with Caleb when he had the ball at the end of the game.
What were you saying? I'm sorry. No, go ahead. Keep going.
You missed the broadcast when they were going to that every.
Is this joke done? Yeah. I got some aged cheddar for you, Brew. Go ahead. Again, it's not very popular in Chicago. Go ahead.
No, but I felt like Caleb was there. Look at this. This is unbelievable.
He's doing. I didn't see.
Like he was gonna get it done.
Legend.
I felt like he was gonna get it done at the end of the game, and I think you can make an argument that J-Lo outplayed him. But for all of that, I'm going to eat this later.
Yeah, you should.
For all of that, I did not have that feeling when the Packers got the ball at the end. That J-Lo was going to, for many reasons, but J-Lo was going to make it happen.
So did the game convert you? Are you now
as far as what?
A believer. Are you a believer?
No, I wouldn't say that. a believer in terms of
the Bears in Caleb.
I mean, I thought they were a good team. You know, I picked them to make the playoffs.
Okay.
But I picked the Packers in this game. But Caleb, he is dynamic at the end of games. There's no question. But the Packers helped him out.
So to me, I think to answer how did they pull off this comeback? Obviously Caleb. I think Caleb made one of, as far as singular plays, given the context of if you don't make this play, you lose the game. Mm-hmm. It's the playoffs. They went on to win it. One of the best plays since I've been on TV. That 4th and 8 throw, I do not think it is prisoner of the moment. I do not think it is hyperbole to say. I think this is one of the best plays in the last decade in the NFL. When you put all things together. Caleb obviously was sensational in moments. Ben Johnson, after it felt a little on tilt in the first half, was, as young people would say, in his bag late in the game. Felt like he set up the game-winning touchdown was set up early in the game when they actually made that a screen. Ran the same thing. And then it was also, aided and abetted by some outrageous Packers play calling decisions and plays that they made.
And just the missed field goals,
two missed field goals, missed extra point, the delay a game out of a timeout, which caused that field goal to be 44 yards instead of 33. Throwing deep in the 4-minute drill.
I feel like because you are from there, and there's also I'll share. There's also when Danny says like my families or whatever. Like Danny's late father is a big Packer fan. Like there's a lot of stuff mixed up in that where this moment is bigger than for you. I think I look at it as a planting of the flag for Caleb in his career, and that I feel like those of us who thought coming out of school, this guy is the next great quarterback in this league. Now, Drake Maye, I thought was going to be good. I didn't see this, but I thought Caleb was going to be a future MVP. I got a little squeamish on it. You never doubted. But I think we can now say for the first time since draft day, he's back on schedule. I think for number 1 overall pick, generational quarterback, he now is on schedule for that.
Generational?
Because whatever your hopes for Caleb were, here's what I would say. I think he has future league MVP, he has underachieved in the regular season through 2 years, if that's their trajectory. But this is to already have this type of playoff moment in your first ever playoff game, that then to me gets him back on schedule where I feel like, as good as Jordan Love was, he's the best quarterback in that division. I feel like, depending on if Stafford wins the Super Bowl and retires, he could go into next year as the best quarterback in that conference. Like that. And so that to me is what is so promising about that game. And then we'll see how he plays this week.
Dan, can I ask you a question that I'm confused by? Because I did offer up the analysis and really recommendation to Caleb that he's had so many fourth quarter comebacks and has been so excellent in the fourth quarter. I kicked around the Maverick idea of instead of just playing good in the fourth quarter, play good the entire game.
I passed it along.
Again,
they're considering it.
He opted not to. Interceptions, and he's like, I'm still going to do what we've been doing, playing. So how are you wrapping your head around that of just not having a complete game from start to finish, but having a 12 of 10 game at the very end?
Well, it's a pretty exciting ceiling, and if this is year 1 of Caleb and Ben Johnson, I think they're ahead of schedule as a rookie head coach, second-year quarterback duo that lost 10 straight games last year and won 5 games total. They're now one of the
duo can be ahead of schedule with Caleb not being ahead of schedule.
Sure, that's fine, but I can't wait to see what Caleb is next year. But for now, because everyone is so flawed, do it this way. That's fine. Is this sustainable? The logical side of my brain would say no, but magic and the Pope and divine intervention and my late brother and father smiling down and wanting me to have these moments in a Bears-Packers rivalry with my nephew, who did a great job filming all that social media content, by the way.
We owe him some money.
Yeah, absolutely. Caleb Williams, baby.
The fact that they're 3-3 down 10 with 5 minutes left and the rest of the league's 3-1, 59.
Yeah, that's
It's
that
wild.
that doesn't feel like it's something you can build on for next year, but it does feel like something that actually helps them next week. Like, are they the only team in the league that if they're down more than one score in the fourth quarter, feels fine? I mean, that's you know what I mean? Like that.
Probably, but the thing is, like,
Whatever
what I think it's confusing, it's not like he doesn't get tight. He doesn't get better. He gets peak quarterback ever. Like, we've never seen a guy go from here to the ceiling when he's losing by multiple scores. It's a fascinating. It's fascinating. You did a great job. Now we're going to go to the other.
I had a lot more stories for you.
Your other guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do we have to?
Yeah. Going to the night game, every playoff tilt was close. First 4 games were decided by a total brew of 14 points. Patriots won by 13. Herbert put up 3. 120 fewer yards than Drake through the air to secure the Patriots win, and for me, a seafood tower. Here's Harbaugh on Herbert's abysmal performance. Just kidding. Should this loss change your personal view of Justin Herbert?
I will just tell you how it feels for me. I'm not going to tell other people how to think. It changes mine a little. I'll admit it. Like, okay. Hey, that's a big movement for me.
Okay.
I'm shocked that he struggled as much as he did. I'm shocked by it.
You're shocked by something that's only ever happening?
That's correct.
Okay.
I looked at those events as outlier events, and now it has happened a third time, which out of 98 career games, 95 in the regular season, 3 in the playoffs, how much weight am I supposed to put on those 3 playoff games? Some. Like, yeah. And I think but reasonable minds can disagree on how much. Like, and so, yeah, it surprised me. The Patriots are not a great pass rush, and against a terrible offensive line, had an above-average pass rush by pressure rate in that game. And late in the game, they were dominant. But he had time early, and there wasn't a lot of separation, but there was some. Like the All-22 Twitter has found some throws that, not that Herbert missed in terms of like he threw them and they didn't execute, but just like missed and he didn't throw them, right? So, yeah, I think it's fair to downgrade Herbert a bit. And it's fair to, next year, when the playoffs come around, have this tag hanging over him on like a real belief on whether he could get it done. But I think he now still is on a Peyton Manning-esque track. I do, personally, because I know
There's no
lost
way.
his third playoff
Peyton
game.
Manning lost his first 3 playoff games. And if you don't like Peyton Manning, what about a guy who went to a Super Bowl and won an MVP in Matt Ryan? Or what about a guy who won a Super
Matt
Bowl?
Ryan's
I could live
very
more
different
with
than
Matt
Peyton
Ryan.
Manning.
Exactly.
What
Come
about
on.
Matt Stafford?
Yeah, I don't.
So all 3 guys started 0-3 in the playoffs. And after their 0-3 start, and I know what you said earlier, and it's correct, like it doesn't mean that it can't happen in the future. It's just now I'm talking about projections. But if the question is, do I still believe that Justin Herbert will win a league MVP, win a Super Bowl, and win a Super Bowl MVP? Yes, I do. But is the criticism in the present tense fair? Sure. Also, fire Greg Roman.
I tend to agree with you.
The
on
next
Greg
person
Roman.
we got to fire.
Yeah.
Another
Yeah.
person
Listen.
sacrificed at the altar of arm talent from the combine 6 years ago.
Yeah.
But go ahead. No,
Fire him.
go ahead.
No, I
Fire him.
look, I thought some of the play calling was bad in the red zone, and so I'm with you there. I don't think he's the coordinator for Herbert. However, you got to stop comparing him to Peyton Manning. Like, Peyton Manning is one of the
5 greatest quarterbacks ever.
Yes.
And this is
he's not going to be that. He's not elite. Now, I'm not saying he can't ever get there, because I like the arm talent and all that too, and I'm surprised by how poorly he has played in the playoffs, but he looks like a different quarterback in the playoffs.
And there is, sorry.
No, go ahead.
There's no. You are being far more measured now than you were last night or this morning when I talked to you about this.
Go ahead.
And I think I can bait you into talking about how you, because when Danny says he's downgraded, what he means is, I used to have him ahead of Joe Burrow in my personal quarterback rankings, and now I have him as the 6th best quarterback in the league. That's what he means. When he says downgrade, that's what he means.
Yeah, I mean,
and when we say, and we are not, what we're not going to do is do a season of Peyton Manning year 6 and not do a final tale of the tape of Herbert versus Peyton Manning in year 6. Well, because here is what Peyton Manning's playoff game in year 6 looked like, and here's what Justin Herbert's did.
I will admit it was slightly different.
Peyton Manning won by 30
Yeah.
and had the only perfect passer rating of 20 on a high passage game in the history of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert did what he did last night.
That was bad.
Here's what their seasons looked like. Peyton Manning led the league in passing yards, had a better, of course, touchdown-interception ratio and passer rating, was first-team All-Pro, won league MVP, and made it to the conference championship game.
Yeah.
So that's where he is. And you can cherry-pick, hey, here's the full list of good quarterbacks that started their career 0-3 in the playoffs. But there's no getting around this piece of it, because you're like, why can't he be Matt Ryan or Matt Stafford? Career passer rating. You're not going to see through 3 playoff games. Lowest career passer rating, minimum 3 starts. Dalton, Herbert, Brad Johnson, Carson Palmer, Rex Grossman. And when I told you this morning, why can't he be a stronger-armed rich man's Andy Dalton, you thought it was outrageous.
Because it is.
Okay,
Dalton
it is
Dalton is too low.
Hold on. Here's the thing,
It is
Danny.
outrageous, Nick. It's outrageous. It's outrageous thought.
Through 6 years,
Yeah.
he is so much has more in common with Andy Dalton than any of the quarterbacks you're talking about.
Okay.
Through 6 years,
buddy,
he is closer to Andy Dalton than Peyton Manning, and it's inarguable.
But Nick, wait, inarguable. Excuse me, bro. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Because Nick is doing he's doing a little sleight of hand here.
I'm showing the 2 lowest career passer rating quarterbacks' careers. That's all it is.
No.
That's number 1 and number 2 worst career playoff passer rating for their careers.
Would you agree that touchdowns kind of matter there? You're saying that a 160 to 97 touchdown to turnover ratio for Dalton is similar to 178 to 68?
No, he does a better job of taking care of the ball.
And scoring touchdowns, Nick. The guy on the right, Justin Herbert, that's 2.6 to 1 touchdowns to turnover.
Yeah.
The guy on the left is 1.6 to 1. Do you know what Patrick Mahomes' touchdowns to turnover ratio is? 2.9.
Yeah, but
Herbert is an excellent player. He's excellent. He's been bad in 3 playoff games.
So
he's been really bad in 2.5 playoff games. He is an excellent football player. He is not Andy Dalton. That is ridiculous.
Danny, I didn't say he's Andy Dalton. I say he's a stronger-armed, rich man's Andy Dalton at the moment. And what I don't know, it is the only reason to argue that he is on a Peyton Manning or could one day be one of these legendary players trajectory is because we have decided the games don't actually matter.
No, of course they matter.
Go ahead, Bruce.
Both you guys are at extreme. Like Andy Dalton's too low.
I don't think he's Andy Dalton.
I just can't look at stats, and Danny's right. The touchdown interception ratio is not close, but I can't. Even if it were, it's more than just stats. Yeah, Herbert is better than Dalton.
I agree.
But Peyton Manning is a ridiculous comparison too. Like you got to stop that. He's like Nick said. Peyton Manning is one of the 5 best quarterbacks ever. He literally
changed the game. We did not think that 6 years into his career, though.
He won league MVP in year 6, buddy.
But we did not think he was one of the 5 best quarterbacks
ever.
No,
we saw how he was changing the game too by calling it at the line of scrimmage and all that stuff. Like Herbert's not about to change the game like that.
He has the most passing yards through 6 years.
Passing yards. I'm not that it's not important, but a lot of times that doesn't always mean it's positive.
There is no quarterback in league history who's lost 3 straight playoff games with their defense forcing 10 turnovers until Herbert. We do this whole, and listen, his offensive line's brutal. He has, in all 3 of his playoff games, his defense has put him in the catbird seat. Even in that Texans game, they had a lead before he started throwing it away. They got 4 picks against Trevor, and yesterday, that game was there for the taking, and he couldn't come through. And I did not pick Andy Dalton up out of nowhere. It's literally the 2 lowest career playoff passer rating guys. That's what it is. And I'm not, again, Do I think he is Andy Dalton? Of course not. But do I think he is more likely to have that type of career than go on to be a league MVP, Super Bowl MVP, when we've literally never seen him play one good playoff game? Of course I think that.
Do you think Justin Herbert would have been better off missing the playoffs narrative-wise?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, well, then that's ridiculous. Because he carried this team.
You said narrative. Danny, they had a top 5 scoring defense all year. Yesterday, their defense allowed 16 points.
This is great.
I just don't know.
Ridiculous.
Last year, they had the #1 scoring defense in football, and he carried the team, and then he threw 4 picks. At some point, there has to be some accountability for a 3-point playoff game.
Yeah, I'll drop him a
I feel
little.
like we didn't talk enough about the seafood tower that Danny had.
I do owe you a seafood tower.
Well, it turned into an episode of Frenemies.
Yeah.
Got a seafood tower because Drake Maye didn't play well and easily outplayed modern
Whatever
day
you want it, buddy.
Peyton Manning.
And that's all of us, right?
Time now for a little edition of He Said, We Said. The wild card weekend was spectacular. To put it another way, wild. Let's hear from some of the best sound from the weekend. Then we give you the analysis, you get it. First up, Greg, plug your ears. Jordan Love and Caleb Williams, they had different perspectives, believe it or not, on that second half comeback. Whew, that is satisfying. Greg, would you like to try on my cheese grater?
No, I'm cool.
Sure?
Yeah, actually, I would.
Yeah, no. All right, well, sort of losing.
Harsh.
I will just say this.
Why would I not be a soldier?
I'm a sore winner. The rivalries are good for sports.
Yes.
It is good that Ben Johnson said F the Packers and that he doubled down on it today. Like, less hate in the world, more hate in sports. Like, they wanted us, they got us, is what Caleb should say. And by the way, you guys can believe it or not, when Aaron Rodgers said, I own you, I was doing radio at the time, I said, I love it. Like, trash talk is good. It is good for sports if these teams genuinely do not like each other. And so it added to the moment of that. It was spectacular. I enjoyed every minute. I'm guessing you did as well.
Yeah, so obviously it pained me to watch that just complete debacle on the Green Bay side. But you're absolutely right. When you look at these two teams and this rivalry, this is fantastic. Now, I didn't like the result. However, if I close my eyes and I just think about what happened without the color of the jersey of the opponent that we were going up against, it was impressive. And they forced the Packers' hand. Like Caleb said, it was our only option. There's 2 different approaches that happened in that second half. It was one team that was playing to protect the lead, and rightfully so, I get that. And another team that was like, at all costs, we have to go and get it. And that's exactly what they did. Dennis Allen pressured, ratcheted it up. In the second half, you saw Jordan Love get uncomfortable and didn't have the guys running free the way that he did in the first half. So, look, man, it was a great game. Didn't like the output because I'm biased. I'm on the Packers side of things. But too many mistakes by the Packers, and in the Bears' defense, they forced a lot of those mistakes.
Yeah, listen, the Packers going cold in the second half was jarring, but I thought one guy that stood out was Colston Loveland, man. He had a monster game.
You think?
Eight receptions for 133
You think they should have guarded him?
I mean, he was a menace in the middle of the field. And you understand, he was running those isolation routes. Those isolation routes go to him, right? They go to your receiver number 1. He became the receiver 1, that alpha dog. And I thought he was the security blanket for Caleb. He was the engine that drove that offense. He was everything.
Was he their number 1 option? Oh my gosh, who knew?
And so when I talk about everything that's it
was disgusting to watch because it's like, can you guard this guy?
They couldn't.
I'm sorry.
Let's move on. Drake Maye. That win was a win without his best performance, which, hey, is a skill in and of itself. Yeah, style points don't really matter in the playoffs if you win. And Drake Maye, we know he's awesome. And also, I will say the Chargers' pass defense. I was doing it on the stats and pack stats and everything leading into the week. Chargers' pass defense is really good. Best passer rating against of any defense since 2012. So, like, the fact that they held Drake Maye under all of his averages and made him struggle wasn't surprising to me. I thought the Chargers were going to give him more. But, like, Drake Maye having a pedestrian game but still winning, he should be happy about it because it'll probably be easier for him going forward.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if the Chargers' offensive line was that bad or if the Pats' defense had arrived. You know,
their offensive line is that bad.
But it was a sense where I was like, man, late in this game and when things seemed like they were getting out of hand, I really wanted them to pull Justin Herbert because I'm like, you're not only going to lose this game, but you may not have him from next season. Like that hit he took when he flopped back like a dummy. Yeah. I said you may lose him for next season.
That was a big one.
It was brutal. But I also look at this Patriots team. You got to give credit to Mike Vrabel, man. They play like how he played. I played against Mike Vrabel. He was disciplined. He was tough. He was scrappy. He talked a whole lot of junk, and he backed it up. They play exactly like this. And there's not a lot of stars on this Patriots defense, but it felt like they arrived watching this game, man. They're talking about flat out getting after Herbert. They mixed up the stunts. They were doing everything they wanted to dictate the game, and they played on their terms, man. So credit to the Pats, man. They're moving on.
Yeah, there was so much talk about who they hadn't played, the weakness of their schedule, the lack of opponents, all those things. And you have a player's coach and a head coach that has been through it, knows how to communicate that to his team. You heard Caleb Williams say, they wanted us, they got us, we got them. Well, there was talk that the Chargers want them.
Yeah.
And they
did
want
that with their actions more than their words.
Absolutely. And when you feel that type of way, you communicate to your outfit, and they go out and play that way. I felt like they actually looked really good defensively, and offensively, I don't think there could have been a better scenario for Drake Maye, where he struggled. You see some issues, some lows in his game, and he has some adversity, if you will, and he has to overcome it. And he did. And he started to settle into the game in the second half and make some of the throws that we became accustomed to seeing all season long. I thought this is exactly what you want in a first playoff game for your
Herbert going 1 for 10 on third down was, I was like, just get him off the field.
I mean, you talked about receivers in the Eagles game.
Going 1 for 10 was.
Listen, the Chargers offense, 1 for 10 on third down, 1 for 3 on fourth down, 160 passing yards. They were terrible. Patriots, though, you like their defense. They get the winner of Steelers-Texans, like not an explosive offensive unit that they're going to get on either side of it. So if you think they've actually arrived, it's a pretty good draw for the Patriots.
I mean, there's one name that pops off the tape on the Patriots defense, and that's Christian Gonzalez. He got hurt that game.
Yeah, the concussion.
But now you're talking about Milton Williams, Barmore. You're talking about this collectively as a unit. They got after the Chargers to the point it looked like they wanted to tap. They could have tapped. They would have tapped, but they couldn't because we got TV rights. You got to keep playing.
Yeah, it's 60 minutes, right?
Exactly.
You got to play. You got to play all 4 quarters. I've heard that.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.